Oh, I was about to say it during the podcast when Russell said about the Megasonic Warhead chick coming over to England, and you went, "What, the actress?" And I was about to say, "No, the fictional character, you dickhead."
We interrupt this broadcast of Aussie in the Palm with a public service announcement. It's come to our attention that some listeners cannot understand us, and so for our intro we've translated it so all listeners can keep up to speed. I am Groot. 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 Well, that was probably the best intro I've ever done. And as long as you're Rocket from Guardians of the Galaxy, you should have been able to understand. Did you get all that? It was some really important messages I gave.
I did understand that. It was probably the most clear you've ever been in one of your intros. So, well done to you.
I gave away where my treasure is hidden in England. So, for anyone that can speak Groot, you know where my treasure is. That's what I was actually saying.
Probably dug a hole in Mrs. Pom's backyard and buried it down there.
But obviously I was doing I Am Groot. Not because I'm a fan of Vin Diesel, but because it's our Guardians of the Galaxy episode. That's right, all three of us have seen Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. And so as part of this week's show, we're doing a little review, aren't we?
Yeah, we are. And I think I might continue my run of being a little bit controversial with my review.
Oh, good. Because what I do like about this is we've banned this from our group chat all week, haven't we? So Dave watched it first, then I watched it the day after, you watched it a couple of days later, and we've just said, do you know what? Don't say anything. So we've literally made no comment, so I've got no idea if you liked it. I have no idea. Well, we'll come on to Dave a little bit later on, but you've got no idea if I like it. So I am excited for our Guardians of the Galaxy review today.
Yeah, it should be good. And like you said, we'll mention that bloody Afghani Dave a little bit later when he's on the show.
Oh, don't worry. If you think your rants were good, Nate, you wait until Afghani Dave turns up.
He won't know what's hit him.
Anyway, let's go straight into it, right? Let's do a rundown to today's show. So you've got the Aussie in the Palm, the classic guys. We're going to have a bit of a catch-up, see what's been happening in each other's week. Then we are going to shoot over, so he is back on our show this week. We've got entertainment news with Afghani Dave. And then, like I say, the majority of the show is then going to be our Guardians of the Galaxy review. Now, we are going to do spoilers. However, we will warn you just before we start. Segment's probably going to last about 15 or 20 minutes, so make sure you fast forward after that if you've not seen the film yet. But hopefully, if you listen to this, you probably have seen it. And then we're going to finish with our top 5 this week. Nate, what have you got for us?
We decided about a week ago that we'd do top 5 comedy shows. Comedy movies, I should say. And I have just realised today that I've watched a shitload of comedy movies.
Well, I've also realised that you are probably not going to have any of my list. And I think we're going to be back to a bit of a controversial top 5.
Well, they're the best ones. Love a bit of controversy. Yeah. It follows us everywhere we go.
I also had a bit of a request as well, Nate.
Oh, yes.
I'm not saying anything to that comment you just made. I've had a request to bring our top 5 back to the Facebook chat. Because, I'll be honest, Gav the intern has been dreadful, hasn't he? He signed himself... we didn't even ask him. He signed himself up to do the videos, and he's not delivered for like 4 weeks in a row or something now. So, I'm going to try and get the videos up, but work is mental. If I can't, I'm definitely bringing our top 5 picture back, because I had a request today, actually, to bring it back because they liked the chats we had on our Facebook page.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's coming back this week. We'll probably drop it about Thursday or so of the week of the release, Wednesday, Thursday, and get on our Facebook and make some opinions known of our top 5 this week.
You know what Gav's done to us? He's done what Netflix do. They give you the first month free, and then it's like it said, no, if you want more, you got to pay the price.
Well, I wish it was that, mate. I literally haven't even heard from him, so I don't even know what's going. I saw him for the boxing. He was like, "Oh, I'm halfway through the top 5 comedians. I'll get on to the rest." And then I've not heard anything since. So the picture, at least the picture, will be back. If we can get a video, great. If not, we'll definitely have some convo in the week about our top 5 comedy films that we'll do later on.
Yeah, it should be good.
Good, right? Well, look, let's get on with it. So I had the busy week last week, Nate, and I had plenty to tell with my zombie experience and Belko experiment review. I have got to be honest with you, Nate. I have literally done nothing this week, so I'm hoping you've had a busy one. Otherwise, we might as well just ring Dave right now. How has your week been, Nathan Appleby, the Aussie?
It's been very good, Russell. It's been busy. Not busy,
Yes,
entertaining,
good.
I should say.
Yes, and I am fist pumping right now. Good. What do you got for me?
I've been in a very good mood all week. So, to describe my mood, do you know when you make love to your partner?
I'm just laughing at... I'm just laughing at the sequence, the hand movements you were doing.
Yeah, I'm so glad my wife can't see this. But anyway, so this is the mood I'm in. So, you know when you make love to your partner and afterwards you go, you know what? I did good there. And then you're really proud of yourself for the rest of the day. That's how my whole week's felt.
Good. Well, tell me more.
Well, for starters, we finally moved out of my mum's place and we have our own place. We have the internet, which is fantastic. It's all set up. Everything's unpacked. Stuff that we haven't seen for 7 months. So that has been a godsend. And we've been in for about a week now, so...
And the internet is very good. Like, I am looking at a very crystal clear HD version of your face on this video chat. So we are flying with some super fibre optic, I'm guessing, over in the Appleby household.
Yeah, we got the upgraded version, which is good. And I'm sorry that you have to see an HD version of my face.
Hey, I'm enjoying it.
With my hand-knitted Hawthorn beanie that I'm wearing.
Yeah.
But anyway,
that's
just where my week started. So it's got off to a high.
Okay.
But on the weekend, I got to meet someone that I've admired from an artistic point of view for the last 6 years. His name's Patrick Brown, and he's a comic book artist. He's just got a gig in the last year or a bit for Marvel, and he does like covers and promotional material for Marvel. And he was down for Comic Book Day down at my local comic book store. So, to answer Tom's question from Not Another the Nerdy podcast, he asked, yes, we do free comic book day in Tassie.
Yeah, I was just about to say that. I think D-Rock brought it up first. And so our boys from Not Another Nerdy podcast, they were asking if... Because J-Money and D-Rock just don't get Britain and Australia, do they?
No, it's like a different planet.
They don't get us.
No.
Yeah, they don't get us. So one of D-Rock's questions was, which Tom put on his list to ask us, was, do we have free comic book day? Well, Australia do. England, like, it was trending on Twitter, but nothing massive happened, so they don't really have that many big conventions, and comic book stores, they don't really have too many in England. Like, you tend to have your big ones, which are like Forbidden Planet. Have you got a Forbidden Planet in Australia?
No, not over here, no.
No, that might just be a UK. So that's kind of like the biggest comic book memorabilia sort of place. And so they have a few of those dotted around. But yeah, we don't do anything massive. There wasn't any... There probably was like some smaller conventions, but it wasn't anything huge like obviously Australia and obviously massive in the States.
Yeah, so our comic book day is just that you rock up, there's free comic books there. It's to get new readers to come in, read comic books, and then go back and buy more. But they also had a bunch of... At my store, a bunch of artists in there as well that were selling prints and everything. And Patrick Brown, who happens to live at the north of my state that I live in, he came down. Yeah, he came down with his mate, Bobby Baxter and Brent. And they also run a podcast called the Bearded Geek podcast that you can find on YouTube. So check that out. But do you know sometimes when you look up to someone and then you finally meet them in person, they can be a bit of a dick?
Yeah.
It was completely opposite. Patrick, Bobby and Brent... they were so nice, helpful. They talked to me for about 25 minutes, I reckoned. And
oh, really?
Yeah, they gave me some tips on my artwork to help improve it. and I bought.
Oh wow!
Yeah, and then I got him to sign a few things for me, a few prints and stuff as well. Bought the cover of Doctor Strange that Patrick Brown drew, and got him to sign it. And I also got him to sign a copy for Tom, and I have sent that off today. So hopefully it actually gets there. Otherwise, it'll be annoying. But yeah, so Tom's got a signed copy of Doctor Strange number 18 coming his way, signed by the artist that did the cover.
Wow, that's pretty awesome.
Yeah, but the whole day itself was just good. And Bobby Baxter, who has made his own comic called Brown Fury, I highly recommend you have a read of this. It's about poo.
Right, okay.
It's what you think.
Sold already.
That's what you think the cover might be. Like, yeah, but it's like the characters are like different types of poo. Like you got your little pellet poo, your long Mr. Whippy poo, but they got arms and stuff, and and I'm actually.
What's it called? Can I find him on Twitter? What's it called?
The comic's called Brown Fury, and he is called Bobby Baxter.
Let's see if I can find him on Twitter. Carry on.
Yeah, and I'm actually going to be doing a review of this comic for our YouTube channel next Wednesday. That should be up and out, hopefully, when I have some time to do that. And then so I had a chat to Patrick for a while, Bobby for a while. He gave me some awesome tips on how to improve my work. And then I talked to Brent about podcasting, and he was really into it because they're only up to like their third episode. So so I just mentioned our podcast, and he wrote it down. I'm not too sure if he's just been polite or he was actually going to have a listen. But I did invite them on to our 90-second knockout.
Yes,
and
nice.
At the time, they seemed keen, and they do seem like genuine blokes. But he said, just give me a bell, and I hopefully will arrange that for a couple of weeks from now. That we might have a few guests on for doing the 90-second knockout.
Oh yeah, I'm up for that. Well, I have found Bobby Baxter. So Aussie in the Palm officially now follows Bobby Baxter. We've got some good pictures of Splat and the Pooh one.
Yeah.
Brown Fury. I've got it right up in front of me. So officially following now. Because we're very active on social media. We like to get involved, don't we, Nate?
We like to tweet out stuff and get involved and promote.
Cross-promote.
Yeah, promote other people's podcasts and artwork. You can also look up Patrick Brown Art would be another one to look up.
I'm doing it as we speak right now.
It might just be Patrick Brown on Twitter. I'll just have a look. But yeah, so we're always there to help out. And I might just add too that I might just have a bit of a shout out to the podcast tech support.
Yeah.
They were the first match in the 90-second knockout spectacular that
recorded, haven't you?
Yeah, it's all been recorded, and they were really great. And especially Al over there as well has let me record the rest of my matches at the Edge Radio studio in Hobart. So
yeah, I'm really jealous about this studio time that you had.
Yeah, it was good. It was good. Like, he had all, like, here I am with my USB mic plugged into my laptop. He had, like, hang on, I'll just change the levels on the microphone. And we had headsets with, like, the mic coming out, like,
really?
Yeah. And I kept on scratching my face and knocking the mic, so he told me to sit on my hands.
Yeah, I'm sat with my iPod earphones and my USB plug-in microphone as well.
Yeah, but Patrick Brown is Patrick Brown 2.
Okay.
Yeah.
I will be now. Consider yourself followed on Twitter, Patrick Brown 2. Oh, I can see him. Patrick Brown 2. There you go, artist, designer, gamer. Following from the Aussie in the Palm.
Yeah, so if you just have a quick look at his banner that he's got there, you can see how great he is at art.
Yeah, definitely. And he's promoting his podcast as well.
Yeah,
those pictures are great. Thanos. Oh, glorious. Get on it, guys, on Twitter. Follow him. Check out some of his pictures. Patrick Brown 2. And like I said, they do the Bearded Geeks podcast as well.
Which you can find on YouTube.
Yeah, and you can also find it on our Twitter feed because I've just retweeted it.
Oh, there you go. That's nice. So that's
good.
That's basically what happened this weekend. But over all that, I've also, my daughter's in childcare again, so free time for me. That's just a cherry on top.
Well, I'm glad you enjoyed Free Comic Book Day. I think next year, I'm going to try and hunt something down from England. I want to get involved in Free Comic Book Day.
Yeah, like the guys that run it down in Hobart, like they have to actually pay for the comics that they give away for free.
Yeah.
But it's really to get people involved in reading comics and getting them back into buying them and stuff. Like, I've got a decent collection of comics, not like a massive one. Like, I've got about 200 comics. But I do like spending money on comics. But yeah, it's just a good day out, getting involved in your local comic book store and stuff. So yeah.
Good. So good day from the Aussie.
Oh, great day.
Or good week, sorry. Yeah, great week even.
Yeah, like when I first went up to talk to him, I was pretty nervous because it's someone that I've followed for so long. But yeah, it was really great.
Yeah. Nice guy.
Really nice guys.
Well, we like stories like that. Yeah, we like stories like that, Nate. Good story. Good. Right, well, shall we bring him into the show?
I can't wait for this shellacking that's about to happen.
Yeah, I think it's time. The comeback king, let's bring him on. Hit us with some entertainment news.
Traitor! Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. I'm Afghani Dave, and this is the entertainment news. The Guardians of the Galaxy took 145 million. Oh, no, wait, hang on. Already used that one on Not Another Naughty Podcast this week. Let's see. No, not that one. J Money paid me not to talk about his affair with her. Okay, here we go. Black Lightning has been picked up for the CW network, ordering the first series. It will be the 5th show in the DC TV universe, alongside Flash, Arrow, Supergirl, and Legends of Tomorrow. It seems the New Mutants has cast a few new members for its next installment of the X-Men franchise. Most interesting is Maisie Williams will be playing Wolfsbane, a werewolf-like mutant, and Anya Taylor-Joy as Magic, the younger sister of Colossus from Deadpool. And with Negasonic Teenage Warhead also in the New Mutants, will Deadpool make an appearance? I'm Afghani Dave, and that was the entertainment news.
Right, so I'm going to break it down straight away, okay? So there I am, enjoying my day the other day. One of my favourite podcasts come on, Nate. I'm talking to you now, Nate. One of my favourite podcasts come on, Not Another Nerdy Podcast.
Oh yes, I've heard of it.
I'm listening away. Yeah, I'm listening. I'm listening away, and one of that the only theme tune they have on there is for my boy J Money, and he comes out, and then I'm carrying on listening, and they go, "Oh yeah, we've got a special guest on now," and then I hear quite a familiar theme tune come on, Nate. It's our fucking entertainment news. What is going on, David Appleby, Afghani Dave?
Well, I had a opening in my schedule.
You can barely get on our bloody show.
And do you know what else, Dave? I'm not even finished with you, right? We're starting now. So I then carry on listening, and then what I've now realised is to find out information about Dave, the person on our podcast, I have to listen to other people's podcasts. I did not know you were colourblind.
Oh, well, there you go.
Are you colourblind?
You know what I mean? Yeah. So, Nate, if you want to find out about your brother, you need to listen to all these other podcasts he just randomly picks up on.
Right, it's not even the biggest problem, Russell. At the end of his entertainment news for the Not Another Nerdy Podcast, he made a joke. We haven't had a joke on our entertainment news from Dave since the very first episode when he mentions Wesley Snipes. It's like come on.
I just don't know what's going on in the world.
Just remember where you started, Dave. Just remember where you started.
He's got too mainstream now. He's way too popular, Afghani Davies. We even had a tweet from someone over from America who listens to both our show and the Not Another Nerdy one. Danny, his name is. He tweeted going, "Oh, great to hear Afghani Dave on Not Another Nerdy Podcast because he wasn't on Aussie in the Pom." It's like, bloody hell. You know what I mean? Dave has got too big for this show. And I did message Tom in the week and I said, I'm sending the invoice over for pimping Dave out. We didn't receive payment for this.
Surely some sort of copyright laws or something happened.
I know, yeah. And they even use our music and our theme tune and everything.
Yes. Well, now it makes a bit more sense when Tom was asking me about our music. being played. And I thought at the time, it's a bit weird. Like, it's good, but it's ours.
No, that was me asking about the music, remember?
No, it was... I got messages from Tom.
As well.
Yeah.
Okay, there you go.
Yeah, and then I said, oh, it's just our theme song in a loop. And he goes, oh, okay, I knew I should have known it. And then next thing you know, there it is on another person's podcast.
I know. Do you know what I like, Nate? No, I not like Nate. He's even at the end. Then Dave's bagging us off, going, "Oh yeah, I have to work around their schedule because they're the hosts of the show. So Russ and Nate have to work." Dave, why were you not on our last podcast?
Car trouble.
There you go. So we'd arranged it so Dave could be on, and it was his decision not to come on. Literally gave us like an hour's notice, and then goes on another podcast that's bagging us off. Yeah,
I know. It's terrible. Like Mr. 13% gave at least 15% for their show.
In all seriousness, I absolutely loved it. As they would say in the wrestling world, I marked out because it was a complete surprise for us. How did you enjoy being on the Not Another Nerdy podcast, Dave?
Actually, yeah, I really did enjoy it. It was a good one because we spent most of the show talking about Guardians of the Galaxy 2, and we all really enjoyed it. It was a good movie. So
another issue I have too, by the way.
Yeah, why?
Yeah.
Remember that email or that message that we sent to each other? I said, let's not talk about Guardians of the Galaxy until we record our podcast. So we go in fresh, and I don't know what anybody else thinks. And the next thing you know, I hear exactly what you think on someone else's fucking podcast.
Well, now that's your decision to listen to the podcast. You could have turned it off and waited until you'd seen it.
Oh dear. How did you enjoy it though?
Before that came out, Nate?
No, I'm talking about I didn't know your opinion of the movie, and we were going to keep that quiet until we recorded this podcast.
Oh, okay.
But I kind of know what you thought of the movie.
How much did you enjoy it, Dave? As in
the
not
movie
the film,
or the podcast?
The podcast.
The podcast. Yeah, no, they were good boys. Very very friendly. They flew me over in their Not Another Nerdy podcast private jet, and
Jay Money met you there at the airport.
Relaxing. Yeah, exactly. I know Jay Money has a man that does that for him.
I also noticed that your beard made that rustling sound again, and I thought, yeah, I actually was thinking if that beard doesn't make a noise on their podcast, I will lose my shit.
Do you know what I really liked is whenever D-Rock gets some shit on that show, he gets bagged out because he's usually making bagels or whatever Americans make for snacks, and so he usually gets shouted at for making noise. Dave, what was going on in your fucking garden? The dogs were barking. It sounded like
yeah, no, they went off. It was like 1 o'clock in the afternoon, and all the dogs in the neighbourhood just went nuts at one point. It was weird.
They all knew you were talking to Jay Money.
Yeah, usually D-Rock would get bagged off about that, but no, Tom was just like, what's going on? And Dave was like, oh, it's me. Oh, okay, no worries. Fucking dogs just going off in the background.
There you go.
You get away with bloody murder, Dave.
But no, in all seriousness,
that's what happens when you treat the talent with a bit of respect. You get a better effort out of them.
I tell you what, Dave. No, I really enjoyed it. Great episode as always from Not Another Nerdy Guys, and yeah, it was nice to get you on there, Dave, and some entertainment news with a difference. It was good. Yeah. Well,
so did you actually want to talk about the news that I actually did report today?
I'll be honest. I didn't
remember that.
I didn't really hear much of it because I was just fuming.
The only one I really want to kind of talk about, Dave, is I'm excited about the X-Men spin-off thing.
Oh, the New Mutants?
Yeah, I haven't seen anything I haven't seen any trailers for it. Is there any trailers out at the moment or not?
There's no trailers at all. This is casting news. So Maisie Williams, who most people would know as Arya or whatever,
yeah,
from Game of Thrones. So she'll be playing Wolfsbane, a werewolf-like mutant, and which is interesting because her Game of Thrones sister is Jean Grey in the X-Men universe. So
yes,
obviously cashing in on that.
And they're
Definitely.
also direwolves, aren't they?
Well, that's the
Yeah.
other thing I noticed too. Yeah, she's a werewolf type creature, so it's interesting. She's obviously fond of the old wolves.
Do you think it's going to be good, Dave? That show?
That's a movie.
Sorry, I meant movie. Do you think it's going to be good?
Yeah, that's all right. I reckon it should be. The casting seems interesting. It's got Negasonic Teenage Warhead in it from Deadpool.
Do you know she's coming to England?
The actress.
Yeah, she is. Yes, in a couple of weeks' time over in Telford. Listen to how I'm going off on a bit of a tangent here, but listen to how crazy these prices are. So she's down, and they've got a couple of other people at like a Telford Comic Con convention. They've also got the cast of Prison Break. So Wentworth Melissa, Michael Schofield, and Dominic Purcell. They're all there. To get in, right? It's £120 English pounds just to get in.
Bloody
And
hell.
for that, you just get to see them. To then meet Michael Schofield, it's an extra £60. Or you could get a pass for 350 quid, and for that you get in and you get to meet all the basic stars like Negasonic Warhead, Teenager, whatever that bloody name is. You get to like meet her. If you want the proper pass, it's £560, and then that's when you get to meet like all the stars. But you still don't get a photo with them. You just get to meet them and have an autograph.
Or you can just
Crazy.
be like me and go and meet your idol at a free comic book day for free.
Well, exactly. That's what. Because Steve George texted me about it, so I was going to go with him. But then when I saw the prices, yeah, your boy Steve George, I thought, fuck that.
That's over $1,000 Australian.
Yeah.
That's like 5 months' work for me.
Yeah, crazy, isn't it? So I am not doing it. So sorry, Dave. But so you think it's going to be good overall?
I'm getting positive vibes from it. Let's put it that way. It's still early. We'll see how it goes.
It's a Marvel product of some sort, so I'm sure you'll like it.
Right. Well, shall we get on? Dave, to be honest with you, I'm done with your entertainment news. You know, we got recycled news as well. But no, good news. So look, we're all on here. Let's talk about Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. So we all went and watched it. It's been out a couple of weeks now. So we all went and watched it over the last few days, and it's time for review. So spoilers. Lots of spoilers coming up. Probably looking at about maybe 15 to 20 minutes or so. So if you don't want to hear but listen to our top 5, then fast forward ahead. But I would have thought most people who listen to our show have probably seen the film by now anyway. But yeah, I want to know what you liked about it first, and then I want to know what you didn't like about it. And then, as always, we're going to rate it out of 5. So let's do Dave, seeing as me and Nate have already heard what Dave's got to think, but our listeners won't have. So Dave, what did you like and not like about it? Leave your rating until at the end.
I've got to say, anything with Baby Groot was hilarious.
Mm-hmm.
Great little character, just the way they played him. Without doing spoilers, there's that whole scene where he's trying to get the fin and he just comes back with all this random stuff.
Yeah.
That is a fantastic scene. Special effects were pretty good.
I'd
say, Nate?
mention the toe bit, but you've already mentioned
yeah.
that on another podcast, so I don't want to retread stuff that you already said.
I think that was the funniest joke in the movie was the toe.
Yeah.
I would say so, because anyway.
That was just laugh out loud funny. That was hilarious. And the music, I love the music too. Really good.
Okay. Good.
My kind of stuff though. I'm a bit retro.
Anything that you didn't like, Dave?
The main thing I didn't like was the lack of a general story. It was just, as I think D-Rock said, it was just a few days in the life of the Guardians of the Galaxy. There was no basic plot to it. It was just let's follow these characters along for a few days. So,
okay, good. And look, we'll build this into a bigger conversation afterwards. I just wanted to kind of get like a snippet of information from each of you. So thanks, Dave, for the time being. So Nate, what did you like and what didn't you like?
I thought it was a fairly entertaining movie.
Here we go.
That would be my like. You want to know what I didn't like?
Okay.
The first half of the movie.
Yeah. Whoa, the first half.
Yeah.
Okay, what didn't you like about it?
I didn't like the opening sequence with Baby Groot.
With Baby Groot, yeah, and they're fighting in the background.
Yeah, I thought that was. I just thought it was way too cheesy and over the top for my liking. I didn't like a lot of.
It doesn't like to be entertained.
It's an opinion, David. Everyone's got one. No, I thought the jokes, most of them fell flat, apart from a few of the Baby Groot ones. What saved it for me was the end of the movie. Unlike J Money, I actually liked the end of the movie. I actually thought, the emotional side of it was actually worked for me. But most of it was entertaining. Don't get me wrong, I enjoyed it, but it's nowhere near as good as the first one. But that's just my opinion.
Okay. Well, like I said, we'll open up conversation in a second, so I'll give you mine. So because me and J Money are like soul brothers, I also went and watched it, not just 3D, I went 4DX, so I had the full experience. I've talked about 4DX previously when I went to see Assassin's Creed. So I had the 4DX experience again, and I loved it. I can't remember the last time I actually laughed in a cinema. And I thought, so Baby Groot was awesome, I thought. Very cuter than what I thought he was going to be. That toe scene is hilarious. Well, that whole piece where he's bringing stuff back and they're trying to get him to explain. And then also the button piece, which you saw in the trailers, but it still was very funny in the film. I thought, for me, the standout comedy was Batista and Drax. I couldn't stop laughing at how funny he was. I think
Yeah, go on. I know which
he's
one
so
you're
funny.
say.
My favourite part was when he was talking to Mantis and when she woke him up and he was sleeping, and then he was basically saying, "Oh no, I don't like you in that way," and then he started being sick, like pretending to be sick because he was picturing them being together. I couldn't stop laughing at that. But honestly, Dave Bautista for me was absolutely hilarious in that film. Drax for me was the funniest character.
Oh, absolutely.
So yeah, I loved the comedy in it. I thought the visual effects were very, very good. And like I said, the 4DX for me just enhanced it even further. There was a couple of scenes which we'll probably go into a bit more detail later on that I didn't like. I'm kind of with Dave in the fact of it. I didn't think there was a great storyline. I wasn't a massive fan of the whole piece with his father and like the ending to that and how they wanted to take over the world by just being like all of the worlds and stuff. I just didn't think it was as gripping as it could be. However, I thought it was a very entertaining. Like, I loved it nearly as much as the first, maybe as much as the first one. So I'm different to Nate in the fact of I loved it probably as much because I thought it was funnier. Yeah, there was bits that I didn't think were as good. So I didn't think the music was as good in the second one as the first one. I thought the music was better previously. That's fair. But overall, it was good. I got a gripe with people on the internet moaning. So people have moaned on the internet saying, "Oh, it's not as good as the first because it's not as surprising." So like them doing like dance scenes and stuff like that, and a bit of the comedy in there. We saw it in the first, so that pissed me off online. So they can just go away. I don't like people like that because that's just annoying.
That's like people going, "I don't like the second Star Wars because they use lightsabers like they did in the first one."
Yeah. And a lot of the reviews I did when I did my... Yeah, it's exactly what it is, Nate, going, "Oh, I didn't think it was as good as the first because I've already seen it previously." And I was like, Nate's got a point because he didn't think it was as entertaining as much, but not that it wasn't a surprise. So those people can go to hell. But overall, I loved it, and I would put it on par with the first one.
All right, so it's probably below par for you because you had the 4DX experience, which boosts it. Just saying.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, no, it's agreed. The 4DXs are brilliant. I think the one bit, there's a couple of bits I didn't like where we can go into a bit more detail now. So I didn't like the throw and catch scene with his dad.
I think that's universal. It's way too hokey, that.
Yeah, I didn't like that. And the one bit I really didn't like was when when him and his dad are fighting, and they change and he turns into Pac-Man.
Oh, I thought that was hilarious.
Oh no, I hated that.
So
that was
stupid.
One of the bits. Yeah, that was one of the bits I just looked at. I was like that. I just hated that part. I didn't like it, and also I didn't like how his Walkman got broke, and then he's not going to have a Walkman next time.
Yeah, that's
but he's got that thing. What's it called?
The thing
Yeah, I
that
beginning
never,
with Z. That's in America. Yeah, I got no idea what's going on with that.
wasn't that something like before the
see,
iPod? Like everyone thought that was going to be the next big thing, but then the iPod came out and that just sort of died in the
Yeah,
ass.
yeah,
it was
it was released
Microsoft's
by
version.
Microsoft apparently.
Yeah, Microsoft version. So yeah, I don't like. I think that's quite iconic. The Walkman is and things because a lot of the posters you see with Volume 1 and Volume 2 is because it's the tape recorder. Look, that doesn't like make it a poor film for me. That was just a bit of an annoying
Yeah,
thing.
I think they also did that because they would have to explain how he got another tape for the next one to change the music.
Yeah,
So they've
Yeah,
given
true.
it a reason why
True.
they've got 300 songs to choose from now, in theory. So you can have
Yeah.
pretty much any song you want now, instead of just from the 80s. You could have right up to like the 2000s. So I think
Yeah.
that worked. My favourite line of the whole movie was when Drax goes to Mantis, "You're beautiful." He pauses. And
On the inside.
inside.
I thought that was hilarious. That was great.
The thing about Batista, he admits, he says, "Look, I'm not a great actor, but this character is perfect for his level of acting."
Oh, 100%. He's
Yeah, like
he
it's
plays
100%
brilliant.
the character.
Just so funny. Even I can just remember all the funny bits with it when Mantis touches Peter's arm for the first time and reads his thoughts and stuff, and it's just that laugh he does, the really over the top laugh, and then he's like, "Do me, do me."
Yeah, he was great. But he's also one of the reasons that it bugged me. Like,
Okay.
his name's Drax the Destroyer. At least
Yeah, he didn't
I know
destroy anything.
He
Did he?
didn't even destroy Mantis. He just did nothing.
I bet he did afterwards.
But yeah, like it was disappointing. Like in the final battle, he basically like runs off. I know for a reason, but he does run off. And yeah, he was hilarious. I like that side of it. But the fact that you got Dave Bautista who could do anything physical, and they just don't use it in that way at all. He doesn't. I don't know. It could have been.
If he'd had one, like a corridor scene where he's just walking down a corridor and taking out a bunch of bad guys, if he'd done something like that, that would have lifted his character even more.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And yeah, my favourite character was probably how do you say it? Hondu?
Yandu.
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 Yeah. I like him so much I knew his name. No, I thought he improved heaps from the first one to the second one. He had more storyline, obviously. More emotional, actually gave this whole story a purpose. Otherwise, it was just, like you said, Dave, there wasn't much story, and that's why I didn't like the first half of it. The first half was them fighting that monster at the start to that ridiculous song. And then nothing really happens until they find out that Ego is a knob.
Yeah.
He's a bad guy. Yep.
Yeah, like what? Tell me what happens in between there. They get chased by some gold people, which you very much know that they're not going to shoot down the spaceship, are they? Because then they'd all die and then there'd be no movie. So there was no,
Yeah.
like, as awesome as it looked, you knew very well that nothing was going to happen to any of them because they all had to get to the next part. And then those gold people just sort of turn up when they needed to. Like, if they didn't turn up at the end, that last scene just would have fell so flat. But yeah. So
I get what you're saying. I can see your point, Nate, and stuff, because, they have a lot of action scenes, but, there's no real point to them. And
there's no consequences
I think
to it.
In that last action sequence when Baby Groot with the buttons, you're right. The gold fleet didn't need to be there. If Kurt Russell had, with all his magical godlike powers, just created an army of little monsters or something, that would have been better.
Absolutely, and I think, but I reckon the reason they didn't want to do that is because of like what happened with Suicide Squad when they're going up against these putty men, and it just looks stupid, and they didn't want to do that again in another movie. So so I understand what these gold people are there for. I just found it a bit pointless. Like I thought they could have come up with something better. Like they've had years to write the script.
Yeah, that's fair.
These are my points. Don't get me wrong. I know people are going to say, "Oh my god, he's such a sook," and I enjoyed the film. I really did. And I think it would have been better for me if I was in a fuller cinema with more people. I went during the day and there was probably 15 people in there spread out. So you don't get that group vibe of the whole crowd laughing and stuff as well, which would have made it probably more entertaining. Because a lot of the jokes for me fell flat, but I'm pretty sure if I was in a bigger crowd and you could, the atmosphere would have lifted it a little bit. So these are probably some of the reasons I didn't enjoy it as much as others, but I did enjoy it.
Okay.
So get off my back!
Fair points. I think I really enjoyed. I just found the whole film entertaining. Really, to be fair, I didn't like Sylvester Stallone. I thought he was pointless. I can see they might be making him bigger next time, but that was kind of me like a cameo just to get a big name in there for no reason. I could see like Sylvester Stallone ringing up, going, "Oh, I want to be part of Guardians of the Galaxy," and then just finding a role for him. I found that pointless. Like you didn't need him in there. I
thought it was a little bit pointless, but I could understand where they were going, getting like it was good, until I think it was D-Rock that pointed out that his character was like part of the original Guardians of the Galaxy. Was that right, Dave?
From the comic books, yeah.
From
the comic books.
And then
so you see that scene with him and he's got like he's got 4 characters behind him and they sort of do a pose.
Yeah,
and
they're the original ones.
Yeah.
They're the original Guardians of the Galaxy from the comic books.
Yeah. And then, do you want to hear something funny? Do you know at the end when I can't remember the gold lady's name, whatever her name is, so whatever.
Yep.
And she
the
made
Sovereign,
yeah, and she made that. She had that made that Adam character.
Yeah. Yep.
The first thought that came into my head was, "Oh, cool, that's Black Adam," but then I realised that's DC.
You thought they had done a proper crossover.
Yeah. And then I go, "Oh no, it's probably Adam Warlock, isn't it? That would make more sense." Yeah. So I got really excited because I thought, "Oh, I bet you the Rock's in there," and then it was like, "Oh no, wrong universe." But anyway,
wrong universe completely.
Yeah.
But I think I was a bit disappointed that Thanos wasn't in it at all.
I agree. That was definitely a point because they should be trying to cross over the universe, the movies, as much as possible now because you've got Ragnarok and then I think it's Infinity Wars. I don't think there's anything else between Ragnarok and Infinity Wars.
No.
So I'm not going to be surprised if either Sylvester Stallone and his crew turn up in Ragnarok because it is set on another planet apart from Earth. Or the other possibility would be Nebula.
Okay.
I think she's a good chance. This is a single character to help cross the seeds before Infinity War starts.
I don't really like her.
What they did... No, I don't like her as an actor either. But what they did...
No,
good.
she's been set up as a link to Thanos because now she says she's on a mission to kill him.
Yeah, get him. Which makes sense. Yeah, that makes sense, Dave. Then why she would be in one of the Avengers one, wouldn't it?
Yeah,
and,
so she's definitely... I think she has an important role to play in bringing Thanos to Earth or something like that. There has to be a reason why they've set that up for her, I think.
Yeah, you also got to think, though, even though you didn't see Thanos in this movie, you got to realise that you know more about Thanos now than you ever have before, like what a prick of a daddy was.
Definitely. Yeah, I really want to see some Thanos action, though. I want to see him cleaning some shop.
Yeah, that would be... Yeah, but I don't... They're obviously holding him back. Like, to me, I don't mind that he wasn't in this movie because it just would have been something tacked on the end or something small.
It would have only been a small camo. Yeah.
Yeah, or an extra scene number 7 or whatever it was. Yeah, but for me, I think you learnt more about Thanos as a character, as a being from this movie than any of the others. So to me, I thought it was actually better not to have him in it and just talk about him, because now you know that he's the kind of guy that would take off his daughter's arms to try and make her beat another daughter in a fight. Now that is fucking messed up.
Legend material, that makes him.
Well, I know if I ever have 2 daughters, I know what I'm doing.
Well, look, bit of a mixed opinion for us, so let's go and do some ratings. So, Dave, what would you give it out of 5, please?
I would give it 4 Howard the Ducks out of 5.
Nate, what are you going to give it?
Do we have to go 0.5 or can I give it point something different?
You can do point something different, and I'll round it up or down for the website.
All right, well, I'm going to give it a 3.4.
Ooh, okay. So that will be rounded up to 3.5 on the website. But so 3.4. See, I am going for be controversial for Nate then, because that's my film of the year. I think it's better than Logan. So I would go. I gave Logan 4.5, so I would give it 4.6. It's just better.
4.6.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, 4.6 because I really enjoyed it, and I just want to go and see it again.
It's giving me a headache, that score. No, I enjoyed it. It's like I enjoyed the first one, and apart from the ending of the first one, for me, yeah, just I can see. Yeah, look, I didn't enjoy it as much as everybody else. But anyway.
Hey, look, that's what we're here for. That's what we're here for, to provide controversy to the world from the Aussie and the Pom show.
I'm sorry, Internet.
No? Good. Well, look, great little review there of Guardians of the Galaxy. Dave, have you enjoyed being back on the Aussie and the Pom show?
I have. I missed you guys.
See, we do love each other, really.
So, Dave,
It's all good.
should we get in contact with Tom to see when you're available next? Or...
Yeah,
Speak to my money manager, J Money.
Yeah, Dave is now taking bookings at Afghani_Dave, is it, on Twitter?
Yes.
Please DM for booking interest. Although he has got a busy schedule, all these pimped out podcasts that we don't know about.
Yeah, next thing you know, he's going
It's all
to be.
good.
Next thing you know, he's going to be appearing on TV and.
Yeah.
Just before you go, Dave, I'd like to say that you are my oldest brother, and you.
Yes. Well done.
I know.
I was going to say, is that the bombshell? Even I knew that one.
I just wanted to make sure Russell knew, because he doesn't know anything about it. No, and it's fair to say that you watch TV shows quicker than anybody that I know on Earth.
Oh,
would that be correct?
ridiculous.
Yeah, because I'm a night owl, and I tend to go to bed, say 9 or 10 o'clock, but I'm always awake till about midnight or later, so it's not unusual for me to watch 2 or 3 episodes a night.
Russell, when did you tell him about that TV show? Like on a Monday?
Line of Duty.
Yeah,
It was Monday before we recorded.
Yeah, and then the next day he goes, "Well, I already finished like 3 seasons. What's next?"
Yeah, he did. Yeah, because I said, "Oh, I'm enjoying it now." He was like, "Yeah, I've just done 3 seasons." I was like, "Oh, what?" Yeah, ridiculous.
Just for the listeners, there's only 5 or 6 episodes a season. It's not like a 22 episode.
Well, that's still 15 episodes in like 2 days.
And they were an hour long as well, each, because it's on BBC, so there's no adverts in England, so it is an hour long. Dave just knocking him out the bar. So instead of doing his journalism, again, all the message we get from Dave, he doesn't tell us when he's recording on other podcasts. He just asks us for TV series. So we had another message the other day. What TV series shall I watch now, guys?
And that brings me to my point.
Please, anyone out there, please tweet me any recommendations for TV series. Afghani_Dave.
Dave, I've been watching Sense8 again. Like, the season 2 has come out, and I highly recommend this show. This show is amazing. If I did my top 5 TV shows again, I would have this in my top 5.
Wow, that's a big call.
Oh, wow. That is a big call. Okay, then I'll have to get on to this.
What happened, the first season came out about 2 years ago, and
okay.
it got people loved it, but not a lot of people watched it. But since then, it's been on Netflix, and since then it's been on Netflix, and it's growing an audience. And then they came out with a Christmas special at the end of last year, and that went really well. And now they're just releasing season 2 now, and it is amazing. Oh yeah,
that's a big recommendation. That is.
Yeah. Has all of season 2 out yet, or are they doing it week by week?
No, it's a full-on Netflix show, so you should have it all watched by tomorrow.
Okay, cool.
But that would be my recommendation for you, Dave. Watch Sense8. It's amazing. Great cast, great acting, great storyline. Boom. Watch that.
Nate, no, I need to interrupt you before
Yeah.
Dave goes. I'm literally just scrolling on Facebook, and
If-
Mrs. Aussie has shared the
Oh,
most
here we go.
random video of all time.
Oh dear.
I'm putting it on our
Hang on,
page now.
which Mrs. Aussie? My Mrs. or Nate's Mrs.?
No, Nate's Mrs.
Oh, phew. You had me worried there for a second.
Yeah, Mrs. Aussie has put a very strange video on, which I'm going to share on our page now. With no
Oh my-
Get a description.
Oh my god.
Okay, I need to get onto Facebook.
You
I'm
had
going
me
to put
worried.
it on the Aussie in the palm. I'll put a nice little caption.
You had me worried, Russ. I thought it was about me.
Is that why you were straight in there?
Yeah. Oh my god. Oh, and it gets better.
Does it?
What's the video?
No, Dave, you're just going to have to watch on Facebook now.
Oh, stop it.
Gem from... Wait, let me tag her in it.
I'm gonna turn it off.
Oh, it's not let me tag her in the
So-
post. I'll just put Mrs.
Dear
Aussie.
listeners, if you really want to know what Mrs. Aussie posted, have a look at our Facebook page, Aussie in the Palm.
In the palm.
there you go.
Yeah, recording our latest show. During it, I came across this little gem from Mrs. Aussie. I'm posting it now. We'll have to tag her in the comments. He won't let me tag it in the post. Right, good. I think that's about us for our wrap, Dave. Absolute pleasure. Thanks for coming back on our show. You know, finding time to record on your actual podcast. Appreciate it.
No worries. I'll see you all next week if I've got time.
Yes, we'll have Dave back on next week's show. Dave, do you want to bring in the Thunderbirds?
Oh, yay, I've never done this.
Yeah, go on, over to you.
Thunderbirds, go.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Well, that was the entertainment news with Dave, and I think it was a big day for him because we let him introduce the Thunderbirds, and that can only mean one thing. That's right, it's time for our top 5. As Nate said earlier in the show, we're doing our top 5 comedy films. Nate, I reckon you have got none of mine.
None. I reckon I've got.
None, and
I reckon I've got at least
you might
one.
have then. Okay, you might, yeah. I think that not many people will like my ones because I like my comedy in a certain way.
Sorry, I was just had a shocking thought then, so I'll just skip over that part. I just quietly too. We're not going to get Dave to throw to any more Thunderbirds because not until he earns back our respect.
Yeah.
He can't just piss off and go to
I'll
another
take it off
podcast
him.
and then introduce something. That's just not on. But anyway, back to our
right.
top
Well,
5.
let's get cracking then. I've got 2 honourable mentions, but Nate, do you want to go first or second this time?
I'll go second, and I've got some
Okay, so
Let's do some honourable mentions.
okay, I've got 2 honourable mentions. I've got Road Trip.
Yeah, good.
Mainly for Tom Green. I think he's hilarious in that one.
When he puts the mouse in his mouth.
Yeah, for the whole thing, he's just trying to feed that snake. So yeah, I'm a big fan of Road Trip, and my second one is Role Models. I also
great.
very much like that one.
Yeah.
My favourite part of it is where he's on the phone and the one kid's talking to him about saying whispering eye. Because he's talking about a vagina, and just, I can't wait to see your whispering eye. Say whispering eye. When he says it, the kid's face just drops, and he's like, "You said whispering eye. You said whispering eye."
Yeah.
Makes me crack up every time. So they're my 2 honourable mentions.
Oh yeah, I'll go Dumb and Dumber is an honourable mention.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Wayne's World would be an honourable mention.
Oh, I had forgotten about Wayne's World.
Yeah. And Superbad was another borderline honourable mention, but I've mentioned it anyway, so now it is a honourable mention. But yeah, they're my honourable mentions.
Okay, good. Well, look, let's get stuck into it. So, my number 5 is one of your honourable mentions. It's Mr. Dumb and Dumber for me, in at number 5. So, grossed 247 million at the box office, which is crazy. It's a big number for a comedy film, because what I've found is that comedies don't really gross that much. That's my opinion anyway. So yeah, I got Dumb and Dumber. Oh, this is my sort of comedy. It's stupid, and this was probably... You could probably argue like Aeroplane and stuff was the first real stupid comedy, whereas I think for me, Dumb and Dumber has always been my first stupid one. I can just quote so many things. One of my favourite parts is when they're driving along, and the policeman comes over, and he's telling them... He goes, pull over, and he just turns around and go, no, it's a cardigan, but thanks for asking. That just sort of stuff cracks me up. And the whole film, I think it's a really funny story, but it's just the quotes you can get from Dumb and Dumber are just hilarious. When it first came out as well, so I think it was 94 it came out, so I was in school, and it was one of the first cool jokes you could tell. Oh, I successfully breeded a bulldog and a shih tzu. Yeah, I called it a bullshit.
It's like when he goes, "Is there any chance at all that we can be together?" And she goes, "It's like one in a million." And he goes, "So there is a chance."
Telling me there's a chance. Just the whole thing is just stupid, but so funny at the same time. And I was disappointed when they did a second one, because I knew it was going to be terrible, and it was rubbish. It was really poor. But yeah, the whole thing. Oh, I could watch it over and over again. I love Dumb and Dumber. So a solid choice at my number 5.
Yeah, I really like that movie. And like you said, the second one, if it's been a gap of more than, say, 15 years, don't make a second one. Just let it go.
Yeah, just leave it be.
Yeah. All right, good number 5 from you, Ross. My number 5 is... some people might not like it, but I really do. And it's Mallrats by Kevin Smith.
Ah, see, I've not seen it.
Oh, you're not? I'm not too sure how well it holds up, but when it came out like mid-90s, I want to say, but I will say that this is one movie that me and my brothers watched over and over again. It was just that funny, and the comedy in it, as you can imagine, it's set in a mall, and just the way they build things up to a certain point in the movie, and things happen, and it was so well done. It was Kevin Smith's follows up movie from Clerks. It absolutely bombed at the box office. Okay, but people have found it on DVD and Blu-ray now, and they do like it. But yeah, Mallrats is my number 5, more because we watched it so much as a kid, and it was hilarious.
Good. Well, we've also just received Dave's top 5, so we'll read that out at the end. He's just sent that over to us, so we'll read that out afterwards. Okay, my number 4 is another honourable mention of yours. I've gone for Superbad.
Yes. So your top 5's not that controversial after all.
I love Superbad. I think it's hilarious. My favourite part is just McLovin. Yeah, he Christopher Mintz-Plasse or something, whatever his last name is.
Yeah.
Kind of introduced him, and then he's gone on to like Kick-Ass, and obviously he was in Role Models. Well, he was the guy that did the Whispering Eye. But when he just comes out and he's got the fake ID, and his name is just McLovin. And then he spends the rest of it with the police and stuff. It just makes no sense. But yeah, so many funny bits from it. One of the kind of a bit more controversial and extreme than American Pie, I want to say, maybe. Just because of the humour that kind of came out. I always remember the period leg. Oh God, where he's dancing, and then he comes and they're like, "What's that? What's that?" And he's like, "Oh, I don't know." And he's like, they're like, "Oh, have you been dancing with a girl?" And it's period blood.
And then later on, he sees another guy and it was the chick's girlfriend, a chick's boyfriend. Sorry. And he goes, "Oh, you got period blood too? How cool are we?" And then
But it's very funny. But yeah, for me, it's in at number 4. It made 169 million, so pretty good at the box office. And yeah, mainly for McLovin. I thought he was hilarious. Isn't it?
You know who the main chick in that was, don't you?
Yeah, Emma Stone, isn't it?
Yeah, Emma Stone.
Yeah. But yeah, that was that Jonah Hill's first film.
It was one of.
I don't think he's been. Yeah, it's one of his. And Michael Cera, I think that's how you pronounce it. And obviously Seth Rogen and stuff. It's just brilliant. Very, very funny film.
Yeah, I loved it, and I'll probably go watch it again. So, as any of my honourable... Do you want me to tell you the rest of your list in my honourable mentions?
What have you got for me at number 4, Nate?
I've gone for The Hangover.
That probably should have been one of my honourable mentions. The first one, I'm guessing.
Yeah, not the first one, the second one. It's the same movie, isn't it? It's just different location. It's exactly the same. Yeah, I heard the third one's terrible, so I haven't even watched it. But yeah, the whole...
yeah, it's not good.
I love the whole... They go have their drink on the rooftop, and then they wake up the next morning and there's a fucking tiger in the room. And people have gone missing. Just they end up at Mike Tyson's house.
Yeah.
It's just...
There's a tiger in the bathroom.
Yeah, and then even in the second one, when he ends up with the Mike Tyson tattoo.
Yeah, on his face.
Yeah, which the producers had to digitally alter for the DVD copy because the guy that gave Mike Tyson that tattoo sued them because it was a copyrighted design.
I really... So you mentioned the speech. For me, that's one of the funniest parts, when he does that speech on the top. I've just pulled it up, where he just goes, "Hello, how about that ride in? I guess that's why they call it Sin City. Haha." And then he just goes on. I might consider myself to be a bit of a loner. I think of myself as a one-man wolf pack. It's just hilarious. It's just the start bit where it's just so scripted. "Hello, how about that ride in?"
How many one-man Wolfpack t-shirts do you see for people on there?
Oh dear. Zach Galifianakis was brilliant in that film.
He was. It's a shame that it went downhill so quick after that. Like, the second one is pretty much the same film, just set in Thailand. Like, the same...
Yeah, and not as funny.
No.
Like, there's a couple of funny bits where they get the monkey and they get the monkey to wank itself off. We sat with it, but nothing will beat the first one.
No, the first one was great, and I loved it. Anyway, that is my number 4.
Okay, well, I think I'm gonna change my order. So I'm gonna, in at number 3. I've just changed, literally just a second. I'm going for Old School.
That was also in my honourable mentions, but I didn't want to do too many. I'm not even shitting you.
Honestly,
have a look at my... No, it's there, trust me.
This film is brilliant. It's Will Ferrell. It's just hilarious in it, as always. Frank the Tank he plays. The best bit is when he gets drunk for the first time in ages, because he's not been drunk for a while. And then Snoop Dogg's performing at the party, and he just arrives on stage naked, and he's like, "We're going streaking in the park. Come on, bring your green hat." One of Snoop Dogg's entourage. And then he's just streaking along, and then his wife pulls up and they open the door. "What are you doing, Frank?" We're streaking. Everybody's doing it." It's just so funny. And then there's so many bits I can quote in there about with Blue, the old guy that joins the fraternity. "You're my boy, Blue. You're my boy." So yeah, I love Old School. I could watch it over and over again.
My favourite bit. I liked it mostly because Will Ferrell wasn't the main character. He was just a side character, and it was just I liked it when he was getting married, and Vince Vaughn going, "It's not too late. Get out. It's not too late. You can stop it. Get out. Don't do it too soon. Don't do it."
Yeah, and he's like, "Do I look like a happy man? You see my wife? She's got those eyes, those judging eyes."
Yeah, and I also like the bit where they offer Frank the beer, and he takes a swig, and he goes, "Oh my god, it tastes so good on the lips."
Yeah. And it's before that when they're going, "Oh, what you doing?" He's like, "Oh, pretty nice little Saturday, really. Just gonna go to a Home Depot." And then I like it when they're on the couch with this is the last bit I'll talk about. They're on the couch with the psychiatrist, and they're trying to share their feelings. They're like, "Frank, you need to be open with your feelings." And he's like, "Oh, yeah, I like the waitress, and I'm often looking at her, and I'm just going, what kind of panties is she wearing?" Like, and then he goes really serious. He's like, Are they? Is it a thong? Is it a lace panty? Oh dear. So yeah, a big fan.
Okay. Oof. Yeah.
Solid number 3 for me.
Yeah, great. I've gone for my number 3. I've gone the South Park movie.
Oh, it's very funny. I nearly put it in my list. It would be an honourable mention. I love the South Park movie. Just Saddam Hussein and Satan.
It was what they get away with on that show is great. Like when they're planning the war and they've got what is Operation Dark Shield, and it's all their black soldiers
At the front.
It was just, could you imagine that on any other show? That how much it probably did cause controversy, but it was hilarious. I loved it. That's kind of when I stopped watching South Park after that movie, and I'm not too sure why, but it's still bloody going.
Yeah, I know it's still going. Yeah, I've not. I'll be the same. I think, Nate. I think I watched the film, and then that was pretty much the film. Is just brilliant. It's just how they take the piss out of everyone, like the Canadians.
Yeah,
them on there. They speak really, and their mouth is just completely fucked up. Yeah,
yeah, their mouth
looking like Pac-Man. Yeah,
yeah.
A boot, and they're just taking the piss out.
Yeah, and
then just Saddam Hussein and Satan's love affair for me.
Yeah, and the Blame Canada song.
Oh dear.
Yeah, I really liked it. Obviously because it was in my number 3, but it just funniest animation I reckon I've seen.
Yeah. Oh, definitely. Well for me, it's either that one or I don't know whether you class it, but World Police, Team America.
That was almost.
I don't know whether.
There's so many
that's
movies
also
you could
a very
choose
funny
from.
film.
Like, this was
Yeah, tough list.
It is.
Okay, solid one.
Your number 2.
My number 2. So this is the one I swapped just. So in at number 2 for me, with 128 million at the box office, I've gone for Step Brothers.
I knew you'd have Step Brothers in there.
I can't stop laughing at this film. I could literally watch it about 15 times a day. So Will Ferrell and John C. Reilly are just it's so funny. One of the best favourite parts is when the mom wakes them up. And they just come out with random phrases, and John C. Reilly character just wakes up. Oh, the clown has no penis. What are they dreaming? Yeah, it's so funny. But the whole film for me is brilliant and stuff. And where they make the bunk beds and they're just dancing around, going, "Oh, look how much room we've got for activities! So much room for activities!" And they're just like doing fake little cartwheels and jumping around. But yeah, for me, Step Brothers, I could just watch it all the time. It's hilarious.
Yeah, great film. I do like the bit at the end when they get up and sing the song. It's like,
yeah. It's the fucking Catalina wine mixer. The fucking Catalina wine mixer.
That was great.
Oh, I like it where the Derek's wife, fancies John C. Reilly, and she just goes up to him that first time and she's like, "Oh, I just want to roll you in a ball and just stick you into my vagina and just have you in my vagina for the whole day with your hair just going around and just like, oh, you're in my vagina." It's just so random.
It's fucking stupid.
So yeah, that's my number 2.
Alright then. Moving over to my number 2, I've gone for the classic, which it is a classic now, American Pie.
Oh, it is a classic film, yeah. In at number 2 for you. Yeah, definitely the best one, I reckon, of the whole series. I think the original's the best one, isn't it?
1 and 2 are on par for me, but I think I just gave it to 1 because of how, it wasn't really original, but it was. I remember going to the theatre to see it, and I was crying. I laughed so much. It was just like how they build up each scene, like that pie scene will go down in history, and you got to hand it to Jason Biggs for doing what he did. Have you seen the extended one where he's actually on the bench, just like humping it properly?
Yeah, just going really at it.
And then you see the pie at the end, and Dad goes, "We're going to have to explain this to your mother."
To your mum. I think his dad's one of the best parts of it. Jim's dad is brilliant, isn't he?
Oh, absolutely.
And he tries to have the chat about like pornography and condoms, and the whole thing's just brilliant. And Stifler's mum we got introduced to.
Yeah, when she was hot.
Yeah. And when Tara Reid was hot as well, when she was in the film.
Yeah, and she's not stupid. I think it's a good movie too. It's just not funny. Like, it's actually a good movie.
Yeah, it is a good film. Yeah.
It's like the second one. Like, as much as I don't want to sound soppy, but like how he ends up with, we've got like the Bandcamp joke.
Yeah, this one time at Bandcamp.
It's like I remember when I first heard that, I was drinking some Coke and then he spat it everywhere. I was a bit like him on the movie.
But yeah, that was it's still popular now, isn't it? Anytime somebody goes, oh yeah, this one, when they tell a story and go, oh, this one time I did this, everyone goes, this one time at Bandcamp. It's still a really popular line.
I feel sorry for all the people that actually went to Bandcamp.
Yes. Can you imagine every time you come back? What'd you do this summer? Oh, I went to Bandcamp. Oh, right, yeah, we know this what you one did, time at Bandcamp.
Yeah, but what I was saying was, even in the second movie when he gets together with like Michelle and they get together at the end, it was like, it's actually a good build up to that moment, and it's a good movie.
Yeah.
And yeah, so both 1 and 2 are very good movies for me. Number 3 was The Wedding. That was a bit...
no, I think they did a 3, and then didn't they do The Wedding separately?
No, I think it was...
Oh, no, The Wedding, yeah, Wedding's number 3.
And then number 4 was The Reunion. The Reunion was pretty good.
Yeah.
But The Wedding, just way too much Stifler.
Yeah. Yeah, too much.
But yeah.
No, good choice.
Yeah, that was my number 2.
Well, my number 1 then, Nate.
I'm looking forward to it.
I've obviously gone for the classic Anchorman.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I could not have it in there. So my top 3, is dominated by Will Ferrell films. Anchorman, I could probably read you the whole script off the top of my head. I've watched it that many times and I've memorised all the lines. Like, the quotes in that film, I just laugh consistently all the way through. I think it is so funny. All the characters are brilliant in there as well. So Paul Rudd, he's hilarious, where he does his Sex Panther one. He starts bringing the aftershaves out and he's like, yeah, try this Sex Panther, and Will Ferrell's like, it's quite pungent. I've got to be honest with you, Brian, it smells like pure gasoline. And he just comes out, he comes out with a quote of 60% of the time it works every time. That's like you got Dumb and Dumber as a stupid comedy, and then you got Anchorman as a very stupid comedy. So you have to have a particular sense of humour to enjoy it. But there's so many funny quotes in it. It's just brilliant. When they have a fight, and there's just so many quotes. That just escalated quickly. And Steve Carell's character, I killed a guy. Yeah, it's just brilliant. Because he's carrying like a trident round and then he finds a grenade. And it's just stupid and ridiculous, but absolutely hilarious at the same time. And yeah, Will Ferrell is a genius in that film. And
they should have left it at 1.
Exactly the same as Dumb and Dumber. The second one was... There was a couple of funny bits where
he had the shark?
Because it's obviously... No, the shark was shit, I thought. There was a couple of funny bits where his new boss is obviously that black lady, and the first time they meet her, they just keep saying the word black, black, black. And then when she walks towards the one guy, and he's like, oh, get down, she's got a knife. But that's pretty much about it. The second one isn't as good as the first, nowhere near as good as the first. But yeah, it's a very solid number 1 for me, Anchorman.
I liked Anchorman. I wasn't overly... Yeah, I enjoyed it, but nothing great. All right.
Yeah.
Now...
What have you got then?
I've got a movie that you've had in a previous list.
Okay.
Any guesses?
On a previous list?
Come on, Russell. We've only done 24 of these, so you should know every single list.
I was going to say... I do have them all saved on my computer in a separate episode list. I could go back through all of them. I don't know. I can't remember.
I've gone for the 40-year-old virgin.
Oh, yeah, that would be an honourable mention in mine. Yeah, it's very funny.
Just the whole premise of the movie was great, and when they were all sitting around the table at the start, and they find out that he's a virgin, he was explaining like touching boobs and stuff, and it was like like grabbing wet bags of sand, yeah. And they're going like, "Hang on, have you ever actually?" Yeah, and just the way he plays the character. It's Steve Carell, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, it is. Yeah,
he's brilliant, and the whole movie's great, and I think. He's not easily my top one. It was probably between that and American Pie. But yeah, I love that movie so much.
Yeah, no, it is a very funny film. I think when we talked about it previously, my funniest part was, if you haven't listened to that episode, was where I can't remember, one of his workman's girlfriends come in and they're speaking to him, and he's just having a go at her and going, because he puts on the accent, doesn't he, as if he's like this little gangster guy, and he's like, "Oh, what you doing coming at me with this Spanish Inquisition? You ain't my bitch." That just makes me cry every single time. It's just so funny how he says it, just giving this attitude off. So yeah, it's a very funny film, The 40-Year-Old Virgin.
Yeah, I thoroughly enjoy it. I liked everyone that we have mentioned, both lists, so I could have put it in any kind of order, but yeah. So, great top 5, I would say. Probably our best. Like, there's a lot of great comedies out there.
Definitely. Well, shall I give you Dave's list?
Can I just give you one that I almost put in?
Yeah, of course you can.
Well, I almost put in Big Trouble in Little China. But then I realised it wasn't a comedy. It was just a joke of a movie. And so I had to get rid of it.
I'm definitely watching that film before we next record. 100% happening. So I will be sticking up for Big Trouble in Little China, I'm sure. So Dave's list, in reverse order. So in at number 5, he's gone for Major League.
Ah, yes.
In at number 4, Ferris Bueller's Day Off.
So this is where Dave loses me.
In number 3, Groundhog Day.
Yeah, I almost said that. Yeah. That's more of a. To me, that's more of a better movie than a comedy. That's why I didn't.
Comedy. Yeah. In number 2, Life of Brian.
Lost me completely. No.
I'm not a Monty Python fan at all. And then number 1, he's gone for Aeroplane or Airplane. You know the
spoof.
Leslie Nielsen one. Yeah. It is a funny film, to be fair. That's where they say that Shirley line. Don't call me Shirley. I think it's funny. Yeah, it is a good film. But yeah, it didn't make my list. But so that's Afghani Dave's. So like I said, the top 5 will be back up on our Facebook page during the week. So make sure you get on and comment and give us some banter and tell us what your top 5 comedies would be.
Yeah, and happy to interact with people. If people want help promoting their web pages, we're quite happy to do that, or Facebook groups or whatever. Just hit us up. We're happy to help. Yes, we are, because we like to cross-promote, Nate. We do. Even if we haven't, if we haven't listened to your show, we check it out, if you get in touch with us, and we like to cross-promote because we are very active on social media, so, yeah, we give out some love to the podcast we love, but, yeah, if you've got a new one, or you starting up a podcast, or you're just catching ours, feel free to get in touch on Twitter, at Aussie_the Pom. You can also find us on Facebook for some engagement. Where's that, Nate? Facebook, it's Aussie and the Pom. I think if you do, I was in a train of thought that I got sidetracked. But if you just do it it's Facebook/Aussie the Pom. If you want to get us on Facebook. Yes. And like Russ said, we're going to have our top 5 back up there in some form this week. So get involved in that. And you can also find us on SoundCloud, which is very important. Yes. Because that's where we have our podcast. And like we said last week, no one actually commented on the actual podcast this week, so no one gets mentioned. I know. So yeah. Also, find us on SoundCloud. Yeah, where else? iTunes, and I've just uploaded last week's episode up onto YouTube, which is looking quite schmicko with our new logo intro. Yeah, very fancy. Yeah, which we whacked on our Facebook page. And then you can also find us, our podcast as well, AussieandthePom.com. We've also got some reviews up there. So, get up to date
with Aussie and the Palm action. Nate, do we need to tweet anyone before we go?
We need to tweet about Redbubble because we have a merchandise store that no one's bought anything from. So please go out there and buy something. Even a sticker.
Is that what you want me to tweet to Wesley?
Yeah, please.
That's what I'm going to tweet to Wesley tonight.
Yeah, please buy something from our Redbubble store.
That's going to Wesley Snipes today. Yep, Wesley Snipes. I will tweet him our Redbubble page. Good. Well, that's the end of the show. I think a good one again, Nate, this week.
I think it's been great. We got to talk to that Traitor Dave. We got to talk about Guardians of the Galaxy. Very enjoyable film. I recommend seeing it and making your own opinion.
Yes.
Don't be a sheep. No, it is a good film. I did like it. I think that's about it, isn't it?
Yeah, good show, Nate. I'm looking forward to next week's one. Okay, good. Well, Nate.
I've been the Aussie.
And I've been the Palm. We'll see you next week.
Suck it!